On their wedding night, Jiboda was stabbed in the chest by his new wife, Liu Ruyan. Instead of crying, she laughed like she had finally taken revenge. As he lay there dying, he could not understand why she hated him so much. With his last breath, he asked her, Liu Ruyan, why are you doing this to me? She answered with hatred in her eyes. She said that if it had not been for him, she and Mei Jibo would never have been separated by her parents. She blamed him for Mei Jibo's death and said everything was his fault. The next time Jibo opened his eyes, he had been reborn. He was back in his senior year of high school. On the exact day Mei Jibo transferred into their class. This time, he made a firm decision. He would stay as far away from Liu Ruyan as possible. Liu Ruyan excitedly pointed at the new transfer student and said he looked like a handsome idol. Jiboda turned his head and saw the same girl who had killed him in his last life. To make sure this was not a dream, he pinched her leg. When he saw her complaining in pain, his eyes turned red. He really had come back to life. In his previous life, this was the beginning of all the tragedy. Liu Ruyan fell for Mei Jibo almost at first sight. Back then, Jiboda had treated it as a joke, but not long after, he saw her sitting on Mei Jibo's motorcycle, hugging his waist and smiling like a fool. This time, Jiboda did not argue with her. When she asked if Mei Jibo was handsome, he simply agreed and lowered his head to study. Inside, he kept reminding himself that he must never get involved again. In the last life, Mei Jibo had always been a playboy. At his former school, he had flirted with nearly every pretty girl he could find. While everyone else was preparing for exams, he was drinking, riding motorcycles, and hanging out at bars. Teachers tried to lecture him, but he always acted as if rebellion was the only real youth. For girls like Liu Ruyan, that kind of bad boy image was fatal. When she killed Jiboda in the last life, he only learned the truth at the final moment. She had hated him for telling her parents about her early relationship with Mei Jibo. But Mei Jibo's later death had nothing to do with Jiboda. He was not the one who told Mei Jibo to join street fights. He was not the one who got him killed. Yet Liu Ruyan placed all the blame on him. So in this life, Jiboda would not touch her fate at all. Just as expected, after Mei Jibo sat behind, the two of them got close very quickly. Within only a few days, they secretly started dating. They skipped class together, played games at internet cafes, held hands in the rain, kissed under trees, and rode through the streets at night. While they were busy acting like a rebellious couple from a drama, Jiboda was preparing for the college entrance exam. In his previous life, he had chosen the liberal arts class because of Liu Ruyan. This time, he decided to transfer to the science class and live for himself. Changing classes in the final year was not easy. But no matter how difficult it was, he wanted to try. On the day he transferred, Liu Ruyan stormed over angrily. She asked why he had not told her such an important thing. Jiboda almost laughed. Who did she think she was to him? He calmly told her that changing classes was his own decision and he had no duty to report it to her. Before she could continue, he turned around and left. A few days later, Jiboda overheard Mei Jibo bragging in the boys' restroom. Mei Jibo said Liu Ruyan was clingy and annoying. He said he only stayed with her because she was pretty and made him look good. One boy teased him and said that Liu Ruyan was not easy to win. Mei Jibo proudly said he had already kissed her. Girls loved his domineering style. Then someone challenged him to make Liu Ruyan skip her upcoming dance competition. Mei Jibo laughed and said it would be simple. In the last life, Jiboda had tried to warn Liu Ruyan that Mei Jibo was using, but she thought he was jealous and trying to destroy the relationship. After seeing her fall deeper and deeper, he told her parents that one decision made her hate him for years. So this time, he promised himself that he would not care whether she lived or died. But Liu Ruyan soon came to him first. One evening, Jiboda found her drunk outside his house, surrounded by beer bottles. She grabbed his arm and begged him to contact Mei Jibo. She said Mei Jibo suddenly wanted to break up and she did not know what she had done wrong. She cried that she loved him and would do anything for him. Jiboda looked at her and felt only disappointment. The girl he once liked had completely lost herself. He called Mei Jibo on speaker and told him Liu Ruyan wanted to see him. Mei Jibo sneered and asked whether she truly loved him enough to do anything. Liu Ruyan immediately shouted that she would do anything. Then Mei Jibo gave his answer. He told her not to attend the dance competition. After saying that, he hung up. Liu Ruyan froze in place. Jiboda wanted to see what she would choose without his interference. Would she choose her future, or would she choose so-called love? In the end, Liu Ruyan really did not attend the competition. Her leg was injured before the event. Jiboda did not know whether it was an accident or whether she had hurt herself on purpose. Her mother later told Jiboda's mother that Liu Ruyan had missed a chance to win a prize and possibly secure university admission. Jiboda only 心儿的heart. A girl that lovesick could not be saved by anyone. Sure enough, he soon saw Liu Ruyan and Mei Jibo walking home hand in hand. Mei Jibo smoked right in her face, yet she looked happy. Then the two of them disappeared into a small hotel. In the previous life, Jiboda would have rushed over to stop them. Liu Ruyan would have pushed him away and asked who he was to control her. This time, he did not stop anything. He even hoped she would sink deeper into the mess she chose. Soon, the monthly exam results came out. Liu Ruyan's grades dropped badly, almost to the bottom of the grade. Jiboda, however, rushed into the top 10. Teachers and classmates all looked at him differently. He realized that once he stopped wasting energy on Liu Ruyan, everything became easier. One day, while asking a teacher about a math problem, he saw Liu Ruyan's mother come to school. She begged the teacher to help improve her daughter's grades. The teacher finally told her about Liu Ruyan and Mei Jibo's relationship. Only then did her mother understand why her daughter had changed so much. She rushed through the school looking for Mei Jibo. When she found him, she slapped him hard in front of everyone. Mei Jibo cursed and asked why she had hit him. Liu Ruyan's mother shouted that he had ruined her daughter's future. Mei Jibo rolled his eyes and said Liu Ruyan was the one who begged to be with him. He said he had never forced her. The mother was so angry that she grabbed his hair. At that moment, Liu Ruyan rushed and protected Mei Jibo behind her. She shouted that if her mother wanted to hit someone, she should hit her instead. Her mother was stunned. The obedient daughter she had raised was now fighting her for a boy. Then the mother slapped Liu Ruyan too. She said she could have accepted Jiboda, a good student, and a good boy. But why would Liu Ruyan choose a useless troublemaker like Mei Jibo? When Jiboda heard his name, he only wanted to leave. But everyone suddenly looked at him. Mei Jibo pointed at him and accused him of reporting them. Liu Ruyan stared at him with terrifying eyes. Jiboda felt helpless. He had done nothing in this life, yet the trouble still came to him. He loudly told them that their business had nothing to do with him. Then Liu Ruyan's mother clarified that it was the teacher who had told her. Only then was Jiboda cleared of suspicion. After that day, the whole school knew about Liu Ruyan and Mei Jibo. Mei Jibo felt wronged and kept complaining to his classmates. He said he had dated many girls before without any trouble. Only Liu Ruyan had brought him so much drama. Late one night, Jiboda heard an ambulance downstairs. His parents rushed out, and he followed them. He saw Liu Ruyan's parents carrying her out. Blood was flowing from her left wrist as she passed Jiboda. She asked him to tell Mei Jibo that she really would do anything for him, even die. Jiboda stood there frozen. Her blood was almost gone, yet she was still thinking about that man. Liu Ruyan's left hand tendon was damaged. Even after surgery, it could never return to its original state. But she did not care. She called the scar proof of her love and proof of her passionate youth. Jiboda knew how tragic that was. She could have stood on stage as a brilliant ballet dancer. Instead, she chose a road that destroyed her own future. When classmates saw the scar on her wrist, they were shocked. Liu Ruyan proudly said it was the medal of her love with Mei Jibo. Everyone looked at her like she had lost her mind. During the final semester, Jiboda threw himself into studying. Only at dinner did he occasionally hear his mother mention Liu Ruyang. Jibo kept asking Liu Ruyang for expensive gifts, basketballs, leather goods, even motorcycles. As long as he asked, she bought them. But she had no money of her own. So she kept asking her parents. Liu Ruyang's mother begged Jiboda's mother to persuade her. Jiboda immediately told his mother not to get involved in another family's mess. He knew better than anyone that helping Liu Ruyang would only bring trouble. In the last life, he had tried to pull her out of that swamp. In return, she hated him and killed him. So in this life, let her live the life she wanted. Even if she rotted away, it would be her own choice. After months of hard work, Jiboda finally did well in the college entrance exam. Because of her injured hand, Liu Ruyang failed her art and had no special path left. After the exam, the class monitor organized a farewell dinner for the teachers. Jiboda thought Liu Ruyang and Mei Jibo would be too ashamed to attend. Unexpectedly, both of them showed up. Liu Ruyang wore a tight black dress, big golden curls, far too mature for her age. Mei Jibo wore a biker jacket, ripped and dyed yellow hair. After the teachers left, the students relaxed and started chatting. Suddenly, Wang Xiaoju, the study representative, mocked Liu Ruyang out loud. She said Liu Ruyang dressed like a street girl. Many classmates had long been disgusted by the couple. They talked during evening study, acted intimate in class, and disturbed everyone around them. Wang Xiaoju 还在避寒呢，不服. So she had probably suffered the most. Liu Ruyang did not get angry. Instead, she laughed and asked if Wang Xiaoju was jealous because she had no boyfriend. Wang Xiaoju coldly replied that only Liu Ruyang treated Mei like a treasure. Mei Jibo became angry and insulted Wang Xiaoju's looks. Then he kissed Liu Ruyang in front of everyone as if showing off. The class monitor could not stand it and told them to go to a hotel if they wanted to act like that. Many students were disgusted and left. When Jiboda also got up to leave, Mei Jibo stopped him. Mei Jibo smugly said he knew Jiboda had always liked Liu. He warned him not to dream about her anymore because she already belonged to him. Jiboda laughed coldly. He said not everyone treated Liu Ruyang like some priceless treasure. Then he walked out. While waiting for a taxi, Liu Ruyang followed him. She told him not to mind Mei Jibo's words, because Mei Jibo only acted that way because he cared about her. Jiboda finally asked us the question he had kept in his heart for a long time. Was it really worth it? Was giving up ballet and school truly worth it? Liu Ruyang smiled and said it was worth it. She said every day with Mei Jibo made her feel relaxed. Jiboda thought silently that falling downward was not real freedom. But he only told her that he hoped she would still think that in the future. At that moment, Mei Jibo came out and saw them talking. Without asking anything, he slapped Liu Ruyang in the face. He accused her of sneaking out to seduce another man. Instead of getting angry, Liu Ruyang shyly said she was already pregnant with his child. Jiboda was shocked. They were only 18. Yet, they were already going to be parents. He immediately got into a taxi to avoid being dragged into their drama again through the rearview mirror. He saw the two of them kissing again. It seemed that even that slap was just part of their twisted. Not long after the exam results were released, Liu Ruyang and Mei Jibo failed badly. Jiboda, however, entered a university in the capital. He was overjoyed. He had achieved his goal and could finally leave that insane couple behind. His parents held a banquet to celebrate his admission. Liu Ruyang's parents were invited because they were neighbors. Liu Ruyang did not come at the banquet. Jiboda's father sighed that Liu Ruyang was truly a pity. Her mother nearly cried, and Jiboda's mother quickly changed the topic. Summer passed, and everyone went their separate ways. During his first year of university, Jiboda occasional hard updates about Liu Ruyang and Mei Jibo in the class group. They held wedding ceremony, though they were too young to legally register. Mei Jibo became a delivery rider. Liu Ruyang gave birth and stayed home to raise the child. Later, Jiboda focused on his studies and stopped checking the group. After graduation, because he knew some future trends from his previous life, he entered a good company. In less than 5 years, he was promoted several times and became a young man others envied. Many girls showed interest in him, but he never met someone who truly moved his heart. His parents tried to arrange blind dates, but he always changed the subject. One day, his father asked whether he was still thinking about the girl next door. Chibuda was stunned. He had not heard Liu Ruyan's name in a very long time. He laughed and said that was impossible. In this life, just hearing her name made him feel sick. During the spring festival, Chibuda returned home. In the elevator, he unexpectedly met Liu Ruyan, who was pregnant again. After so many years, he almost did not recognize her. The former ballet goddess was gone. Her hair was thin. Her skin was dull and rough, and her face was full of exhaustion. The biggest change was in her eyes. They no longer had light. They were numb and lifeless. Chibuda guessed that the recent death of her parents in a car accident had hit her hard. Liu Ruyan called his name uncertainly. He nodded politely and lowered his head to reply to New Year messages. She asked whether he had been doing well. He casually said he was fine and asked about her. She smiled bitterly and said she had been trapped at home as a full-time housewife. She had hoped to find a job after her first child started kindergarten. But before that could happen, she became pregnant with a second child. Her regret was impossible to hide. Chibuda thought she deserved it. When the elevator reached the 3rd floor, he felt relieved. Even after so many years, being alone with her still made his palms sweat. After all, in the last life, this woman had really killed him. As he entered his home, he heard Mei Jibo shouting from next door. He yelled at Liu Ruyan for taking too long to buy alcohol. Jiboda realized that their once passionate love had faded into resentment. That night, while Jiboda and his parents were watching the Spring Festival Gala, loud crashing sounds came from next door. Then a child screamed, begging his father to stop. Jiboda's mother sighed and said Liu Ruyan was pitiful. Whenever Mei Jibo got drunk, he beat her and their son Xiaosong. Jiboda's parents wanted to go over and stop it. He warned them not to interfere in other people's family matters. But his mother had watched Liu Ruyan grow up and could not ignore it. Worried about his parents, Jiboda followed them. Before they could knock, Liu Ruyan came out holding Xiaosong. Her face was bruised and blood was at the corner of her mouth. The little boy was crying in her arms. Mei Jibo rushed out, grabbed Liu Ruyan by the hair, and dragged her back. Jiboda's father scolded him for hitting a woman. Mei Jibo sneered and said Liu Ruyan was his wife, so he could beat her if he wanted. Jiboda's mother said beating people was illegal. She tried to pull his hand away, but Mei Jibo pushed her. Jiboda and his father immediately supported her. Jiboda told his father to take his mother home first. After they left, Jiboda asked Mei Jibo how he had become a man who hit women, drunk and red-faced. Said Liu Ruyan did not want to argue and prepared to call the police. But Liu Ruyan stopped him. She begged him not to call the police. She said Mei Jibo was only drunk and would be fine once he sobered up. Jiboda almost laughed from anger. If not for his parents, he would not have cared at all. He turned around and left. Later that night, Liu Ruyan knocked on Jiboda's door. While holding Xiaosong, she came in and silently cried. The child sobbed that his father had drunk again and beaten both him and his mother. Only then did Jiboda realize that this violence had probably happening for years. No wonder Liu Ruyan looked like a living corpse before she was even 30. Soon, Mei Jibo started kicking Jiboda's door from outside. He shouted for Liu Ruyan to come out. Liu Ruyan trembled in fear and begged Jiboda's mother not to open the door. Jiboda frowned. This woman was still haunting his family. Earlier, when he tried to call the police, she stopped him. Now that she was beaten badly, she ran to his house for protection, where he and his family destined to be dragged into their cursed love. Story again? Without saying anything, Jiboda returned to his room and called the police. This kind of matter should be handled by the authorities. He and his parents could not be her shield forever. Mei Jibo kept yelling outside, accusing Liu Ruyan of wanting to go back to Jiboda. Because Jiboda was successful now, Liu Ruyan blushed with humiliation and looked at Jiboda with tears. Jiboda remained expressionless. Soon, the police arrived. When Liu Ruyan saw them, she angrily blamed Jiboda for calling the police. She insisted that Mei Jibo was only drunk. Jiboda cut her off. He told her to say that to the police, not to him. This was between the two of them. And she should not drag his family into it. Neighbors from upstairs and downstairs also came out to complain. They said the couple smashed things and fought every few days. Some said Mei Jibo often beat Liu Ruyan so loudly that the whole building could hear it. The police took Mei Jibo away for questioning. At first, he panicked and tried to explain that it was all a misunderstanding. Liu Ruyan also rushed over to defend him. She said he had only drunk too much and was just playing around with her and the child. But the police looked at the injuries on her face and took Mei Jibo away anyway. The world finally became quiet. The next morning, Jiboda told his parents that he wanted to take them on a road trip during the holiday. They were very happy because they had rarely traveled far in their lives. The family quickly packed and drove to Sanya. Jiboda had planned this trip for later, but he moved it up to keep his parents away from Liu Ruyan. On the third day in Sanya, his mother saw shocking news in the neighborhood group. Liu Ruyan had been killed at home by Mei Jibo on the third day of the Lunar New Year. His mother could not believe it and called the neighbor for details. It turned out that after Mei Jibo was taken away, Liu Ruyan begged the police to release him. She claimed the injuries were self-inflicted. She even said she had a habit of hurting herself and enjoyed being beaten. The police knew she was lying, but without evidence and without her cooperation, they could only warn Mei Jibo for disturbing the peace and let him go. That night, neighbors heard Liu Ruyan screaming again. This time, no one called the police. One day later, a neighbor saw Xiaosong in the elevator covered in blood and immediately called the police. When officers contacted his parents, both phones were turned off. They took Xiaosong home and knocked for a long time, but no one opened the door. Then Xiaosong suddenly said, "Mom, blood, knife." The police realized something was wrong and forced the door open. Inside, Liu Ruyan lay in a pool of blood. A fruit knife was still stabbed straight into her chest. Her eyes were open, as if she had died unwillingly. Mei Jibo had already disappeared. Jiboda felt cold all over when he heard this. So this was Liu Ruyan's ending, when he did not interfere. In the previous life, because of his kindness, he had taken her place and been stabbed to death. 1 month later, Jiboda bought his parents a beautifully decorated house in their hometown. It had small gardens in the front and back, and they loved it. In this life, he wanted to live well and let his parents enjoy their later years. During the May Day holiday, the family was making dumplings together when the neighbor called. She said Mei Jibo had finally been found. He was discovered in an alley near a market. When they found him, his body had been hacked apart by someone. Jiboda's mind went blank, and the dumpling in his hand fell to the floor. Mei Jibo had died, just like in the previous life, but this time, Liu Ruyan could no longer blame his death on Jiboda. Jiboda's father nudged him and asked why he was spacing out. He came back to himself and smiled. He said he was just thinking about where to take his parents. During the holiday, his parents smiled happily. In this life, Jiboda could finally live properly. He was no longer dragged down by Liu Ruyan and her insane love story.